Yo, guys, welcome back. I hope you guys enjoyed your weekend. I hope you had fun watching the previous two videos. Let me know what you thought of them. Big shout out to EA again for letting me have access to the preview build before and trying out the game and bringing those videos for you. Today's video is going to be a little bit different. I'm just going to talk about all the things that are new in F123 and that are coming to the game and the biggest changes that I thought and the things that I feel are amazing and I really look forward to you guys experiencing them as well. So let's get started. F123 has an array of upgrades and new features coming. There's significant upgrades to the handling and the physics, and it result in much better vehicle control and drivability. The acceleration, braking, and cornering have been reworked quite a lot, and they provide a much more authentic experience. The physics slips for the traction, and the biggest concern of players was that the traction loss was very unrealistic. In the previous games, it was unpredictable. You could not figure out where the car was going, but this time around, you can actually feel the car going. You can try and save it. You can feel the loss of grip in the tires as well. And I think that is one of the biggest features that everybody has been asking for. And I'm glad it's here. From all the races I've done, I feel the track surfaces also have been feeling a lot better. When you drive over curbs or sausage curbs, you feel them a lot more through FFB. And I think that's a very good thing because it helps you figure out the limits of the track and where you can push. The race distance, the new race distance, 35%. I put a video out where I did a 35% race in Canada, which was really fun. And I think that is a great addition. It's the perfect balance. Like I said in the previous video, I think a lot of people are going to be running 35% races with their lobbies. And especially with the new feature of the first lap only collisions that can be disabled. I think it's going to be super interesting to see what people can do, what kind of different combos we can do. It's always been a concern with players, like they get taken out on lap one and then the race is ruined. I think with the new collision settings that have been added to the game, people can actually, the fast drivers at least, can get out of the carnage, because there's going to be carnage, and they can get out away from it really quickly and away from everybody else, and they can carry on with their own lap and the race. So I think that's going to be very interesting to see what people run. The red flags are coming. The preview build did not have access to the red flags, so we could not try those out. But I think I'm very curious to see what they can do. Obviously, it's not something that I would personally enable for my open lobbies, considering how many. But for league racing and for proper community events where the drivers are clean and quick, I think that can make a lot of different dynamic changes into the race, and it gives a lot of unpredictability. And people with smart strategies can definitely use them for advantage. So we have two new tracks coming, Las Vegas and Losail. Las Vegas was shown earlier in a showcase on the Formula One channel and on EA Sports F1. And there was a video of Lando driving the car in there as well. The circuits look absolutely beautiful. The textures and the lighting and everything, they look absolutely insane. We haven't driven them yet because we did not have access to them in the preview build for now. So that's definitely, I'm curious to see what it's like. I think I'm more interested in Losail because that track looks like it's got a nice flow and it can provide a lot of good racing. Las Vegas, I'm not a big fan of, but that's just personally nothing to do with the game. It's just the track. I was never a big fan of it, but I'm excited to see what it looks like. Breaking Point is making a return. I think all of us have been asking for Breaking Point. It was a big hit in F1 2021. We all fell in love with the characters. We got involved in the story of Breaking Point, and definitely this time around, it's much better because the decisions you do on track, off track, they affect your reputation, your performance, and it has different outcomes in the Breaking Point story, which is very cool, which also increases the replayability of the game. So that's definitely something that I'm looking forward to trying. F1 World is coming to F1 23. It's going to be a big, concised mode of a bunch of different events that you can do through daily, weekly, seasonal content. And there's going to be a license system, which is something that I'm very interested in. iRacing and a lot of other games have license systems, which kind of separates the good drivers from the bad. And this is something that definitely was needed in F1. I'm curious to see how it's implemented, and I really hope it increases the standard of racing. Some of the changes that I noticed while playing the game, which were not in the deep dives or anything, were there's new smoke textures for locking up, for drifting, for sliding out, and they looked cool. They're obviously not completely finished, I think, in this preview build, but they did seem very interesting and very different from what we had before. Obviously, the new UI, I mean, it looks great. It's minimalistic, it's clean, it looks stylish, and it has so many cool features like we spoke about, especially the battery harvest and deployment provide a lot of information for your car. And the deltas as well. The delta UI looks really nice. You have all the information you need. It's going to be super beneficial for those guys who are grinding lap times. The track changes. A lot of the tracks that we played and a lot of the tracks that were shown in the videos of the trailers and everything, they look changed. There have been adjustments made to the tracks, not just in terms of visuals, but actually certain curves have been added / replaced. There have been barriers that are put into certain places, which look really cool. The AI has definitely undergone a lot of changes from all the testing that I've done from the racing that I've done in this game. The AI does feel like it's better at fighting now. It's not very aggressive. It is aggressive for sure. They do try and stick to the corners. They do try to overtake you or defend with like certain aggressive moves. But it's not like the AI before that used to just kill you in the middle of the track. And I think it's only going to get better because the preview build had a lot of changes that were still to come to the AI. So I'm hoping to see those. The car sounds do feel different. They're a little bit more refined, and I like those. It's a little bit interesting to see all the different. You can notice a subtle hints of different engines on the cars, and it's nice to hear that. So the preset setups, I feel in the previous game the preset setup feels absolutely bad. There is no way you can drive that on the track. It feels understeery. It feels less responsive. The car just does not feel like an F1 car. This time, the base presets, the default presets, do seem a little bit more responsive, or the car in general. Maybe it's just the car that in general is a little bit more responsive and a little bit nimble. Because even with the basic setup, even with the default setups, I was able to do decent lap times. Obviously, not the best lap times, not the fastest lap times, but I was able to get around the track without having to worry about putting it into the wall or not making out of corners. I also tested driving on a controller. I have an Xbox controller. It definitely felt quite good. The triggers at the back had a lot more responsive force feedback, and the settings that you could adjust and play with are a lot more. I'm sure people who regularly play on a controller can explore those settings a lot more and find the sweet spots where they can get the maximum amount of time. But yes, guys, that's going to be my final video for F123 for now. I hope you guys enjoyed the few videos that we put out. I'm really excited to see what the game is gonna. Guys, that's gonna be the final video for this preview build. I hope you guys enjoyed these videos. I hope you got to see a lot of the game that you wanted to see, some of the features that you wanted to see. I'm really excited to see the game when it comes in full launch, everything that's been added to the game. And do let me know what your thoughts are about the game. Let me know in the comments if you like the game, if you like certain features, if you do not like certain features which you do not want them to add. Do let me know in the comments for sure. Like the video, subscribe to the channel because there's going to be a lot more F123 coming your way. See ya.